Hello and welcome. Today is Tuesday, October 24th, and we're here for the weekly C4C Monday events planning meeting. The mission of the community is make the world work better for all people, animals, and the living planet. The general purpose of this meeting is to plan, organize, and prepare for our monthly and weekly meetings. Generally looking at the calendar, upcoming events, and starting off our sprint agile framework. The moon is waning crescent, very old in Libra. Current Cardano epoch is 371, and the project catalyst is in cooldown. Let's begin the meeting with checking in and choosing some roles. Who feels called to facilitate?
Since we're kicking off the sprint, I'll jump in as the facilitator for the sprint planning meeting.
Cool. I'll take notes, taking notes and attendance and doing the timekeeping.
All right.
I can do the, I just started the recording and I can upload to YouTube.
Okay.
And let me share the agenda document in the Google Drive on the chat and today's agenda. There you go. And I've also set up a Miro board, which is here.
All right. I just put the sprint planning board Miro link.
Oh, excellent. Okay. And it's now 6 minutes past the hour. I say let's begin.
All right. Welcome to the first Cardano4Climate sprint planning meeting. I'm going to share my screen really quick. There we go. Shared. So just as a reminder, we've been talking about doing sprints. We're going to experiment with a lunar sprint cycle. We're going to start now because we're coming up on our new moon, either tomorrow or the day after. So it's really close. And that's a great time to start new things. So we're going to kick off our sprint there. And then you can look at the kind of the overall plan, but for the C4C sprint planning, this is the board that I put together. Our key tasks for today are to select core roles for the week at sprint planning. If we can get commitment for 2 weeks, so that that's how long our sprints are going to be. We'll use tags to assign names to roles. And then we'll use the goals column to identify 3 sprint goals, and then that'll kick off our sprint planning. And I'm just reflecting a little bit. We don't have to get all these roles here today, but it would be nice if we could. So today, we just did that really quick. So I'll be facilitator. Newman's taking notes as scribe, and he'll be doing the video upload and stuff. So that's the admin work and the agenda and all that. And just to give a high-level overview, a lunar cycle is split into 2 sprints of 2 weeks each. So there's week 1, week 2 for sprint 1, and then week 1, week 2 for sprint 2, and that'll take us through 1 lunar cycle. The activities that we do each sprint, first week we kick off with sprint planning, which is today, and then we have story gathering and Wednesday meetup planning on Tuesdays. And then we have our weekly community meetup. Thursday is a focus day. No team meetings. And then Friday, there's a C4C GTPBL. And then week 2, this meeting becomes a working session where we work not on sprint planning, but on anything we need to come together to make sure the sprint happens effectively. And so this meeting today is morphing a little bit from event planning to sprint planning and working session. And the hope is by people committing to these roles, we can do less of the event planning for the meetings coming up as we know who's doing what. And then Tuesdays become our story gathering and planning for the Wednesday meetups. So we'll do that again in week 2. We have our weekly community meetup. And then at the end of the sprint on Friday, we have demo day and reflection instead of the C4C GTPBL. So that's where we will demo what we've done. If you've taken any sprint tasks, and we'll do a reflection to see what went well, what are opportunities for improvement, and any action items we want to take for the next sprint. And then the second lunar cycle for sprint 2, everything is pretty much the same except for the Wednesday meeting on our waning gibbous becomes a way of counsel. This is a kind of a reflection and slowdown week. So that's an ideal time to have our way of counsel, community conversations, and then we'll do demo day and reflection at the end as normal. So that's kind of at a high level, the sprint plan. Questions at all?
So so sprint during this Monday sprint planning, it's really committing to roles. Like is that the main sort of thing?
And also looking at our backlog and what user stories people want to take and contribute if they want the sprint outside of these roles.
Okay. Do we have user stories? That's sort of.
I started a few. I know Melanie said she was going to work on stuff. Yor mentioned he might do some as well. I don't know how many have been done. But I figured our first one will be kind of rough and we will have more stories gathered tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I have a few we can walk through and some templates put in so we can at least get started on them.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool. Hey, Daniel, have you ever worked in the Agile? I mean, Yoram, you work in the Agile. Is this brand new, something? I've never really done it except for a very, very minimal one last week. And I enjoyed it.
Yes, in Metera, we work in sprints as well.
Cool.
Yeah, it's great to work on sprint. So yeah.
Cool. Hey, Cole. See you.
Hey, Cole.
I know.
Awesome. So I guess just to start off with, at a high level, what goals do we want to set for our first sprint for the next 2 weeks? What are we going to work on as a high level goals as a group? And I threw in some suggestions as kind of what a goal can look like. And I put in Finalize Fund 7 and 8 accounting so that we can pay people out at the end of the month for all of Fund 7 and half of Fund 8. And then summit planning to kind of kick that kind of stuff off. And then, I don't know, what do you all think are some good goals for C4C for the next 2 weeks at a high level?
I think.
No, please, Daniel.
Yes, for me, I think it's the local summits planning as well. I've been trying to figure out how C4C can be involved and if I'm going to be representing C4C in the summit and what can we do together. So,
yeah. So that fits
besides the projects I'm working with Goal that are very specific, like to fund 8 proposals, I think that's a main thing.
Awesome.
So like what your specifically like what your role will be and how in the summit.
Yeah, and also I think reaching out to community members that might be able to attend the meeting or they want to have a space to speak in the summit. I mean, we're looking for speakers and maybe some projects in C4C might want to take the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's a good high level group goal for C4C is planning the summit and how we're going to be involved. And a lot of it's going to be local stuff. I know Yorm's planning a bunch of stuff for the Lausanne impact tracks. So I think as a global kind of, that's a great high level goal because we're less than a month away from summit now. So we need to really start nailing stuff down.
Yeah, so I'm trying to coordinate for the local event here with Cardano Foundation. Hopefully to have a few sessions. Hopefully I will get confirmation tomorrow before our meeting if what Cardano Foundation thinks about. And that's one. And second, another thing related to the summit, obviously we were nominated for an award So we need to see what we need to do. How can we promote it, or I don't know. Yeah, I think that's also a goal probably for the next week or 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, how are you guys working with the Fund 10 proposals? Do you guys need help in that? The C4C proposals?
We haven't started yet, but it's something we definitely need to start thinking about
Okay.
at some point.
Should that be a high level scope for this sprint or maybe the next one?
Maybe the next one. It's because it's still the cool down and nobody's really thinking about Fund 10 yet in a big way.
Perfect.
Yeah, yeah. Knowing, as soon as they set that time for when they're going to open it, is really the top. But it can be. I like kind of keeping that on the slow simmer. And I think that just to get this in the record, the first thing, I think we've done this, is to look at the challenge settings and just sort of get the percolation going. What are the challenges in Fund 10?
Yeah.
And
so I'll drop that in as an idea for Sprint 2.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
And then in that thing, and it kind of, they all roll together, but impact onboarding. Onboarding is just in every conversation that I have throughout the whole Catalyst thing. We had a huge, thing on, a long swarm session on Saturday, specifically about onboarding new members. People coming into the ecosystem, coming into Project Catalyst is, it's not as easy as it could or should be. But then we get into the things of how do you onboard somebody into a decentralized system, using the teal organizational principles and this agile. Like, I think it could be like, just if we keep onboarding as a core vision, scope, mission of C4C and of this time frame in Project Catalyst. That first thing of getting new ideas, just impact, onboarding new members in the Catalyst. I would like to see, some attention in.
Do you think that's something the community should be working on in Sprint 1?
I think that because, either as a subset of those things, like each one of those, like doing the Fund 7 and 8 accounting, because it does make sense to say, hey, look, you can onboard and here's how we distribute our funds and how you can participate in the funding mechanism. Or even if it's just to say it's all volunteer, or it's, these things are volunteer and those, but clarity would help there for onboarding. And then for the Cardano Summit, I think that would be a perfect time, because we're going to have all these local events. The reason why we're going to show up and represent the C4C there is to bring people into, or to support people as they go through and join Cardano, Catalyst, and C4C and the other working groups. So I think that part of our, that it doesn't, maybe it's not a specific goal, but it's definitely a sub goal in each one of those things.
So,
Can I connect that? Sorry, Nori, please.
I was going to say, since it's related, we're closing out all of Fund 7 and 2 of Fund 8. Maybe the goal is to get clarity on the remaining 2, which is one is impact onboarding, and figure out what does that look like? What are we going to do to close out that proposal, and then the community collaboration standards as well.
Yeah. This, and then I will suggest another one. Maybe we can connect this onboarding one, which I know that Cole and Daniel are leading, actually, to the impact lead generator, because it is this kind of the onboarding that you are doing could be somehow related to that as well, right?
Completely. And our goal is kind of to this Wednesday during the C4C meetup, have like a soft kind of onboarding session just to like practice our presentation. And then Thursday at the LATAM town hall, we're actually going to do the first session. And we're kind of just getting the resources together. We created a presentation. He's going to translate that to Spanish. And then it's going to be like I do an English slide, he does a Spanish slide. And then we're going to try to do that weekly, I think, every Wednesday or twice a week. And then kind of give like a packet, like a welcoming packet and kind of a next steps, like how you can get involved within the ecosystem. And maybe like one of the next steps could be become a lead generator.
Yeah,
the
also,
only thing called the onboarding one include a questionnaire, right? The impact
Yeah.
onboarding.
Yeah,
That's the only thing.
the forms, right? So,
And what
like,
we suggested in the proposal, right?
yeah, like creating a
Yeah.
form after each meeting and seeing like what people need within the ecosystem, kind of.
Yeah, how did they get here? How did they feel? What's the process of onboarding someone? Which is actually, we are doing it also in the onboarding one, but in the impact lead generator. But what's the process of onboarding someone that came, for example, to LATAM town hall or to C4C meeting?
Okay,
Yeah.
so
If you look on the proposal, yeah.
no, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm aware we need to make forms. I just wasn't
Okay.
exactly sure when we were sending those out, but we still have to make those forms for this Wednesday then.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
and also we are connecting the lead generator, I think. Juanita and I have already translated a couple of documents into Spanish. So that's one thing we can connect in the impact onboarding as well. I think one of the main things we're gonna have to translate, and maybe Cole, you can help me with finding the forms for the impact lead generator. Because if we're gonna have people from LATAM seeing the program, we're gonna have to have the forms in Spanish as well.
Yeah, and we're kind of changing up the forms a little bit. So
Okay.
today, I'm gonna edit those forms and just mention that we're doing it all in DWork now, and I can send you over those questions and then have you easily translate those, and we can kind
Great.
of maybe make like a Spanish DWork task versus like a English for DWork task
Great.
with different questions. How's that sound, Nori and Yoram?
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
good. So just to focus on goals, to go a higher level for a sec, so we can close this out. Are we okay with these three, which is C4C at Cardano Summits, Finalize Fund 7 and 8 accounting, and then clarity on impact onboarding and collaboration standards proposals.
I think
Yeah.
that sounds
Like,
good.
just so that we have some kind of plan, we know how we're going to be doing these two final proposals over the next 3 months or whatever the time frame is.
Yeah, and so like the goal of C4C at the Cardano Summits and like a user story could be something like, as a C4C member participating in a local summit, how can I best represent C4C? Yeah. Finalizing the 7 and 8 accounting. I'm as a C4C member, I did some work during Fund 7 and 8. How will I be remunerated? How will, what are the, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So I can
what
see.
I did, I created the sprint task template. So we can just hit these 3 dots and hit duplicate to create a new user story with the template. And it basically is a user story, the why as a blank, so that, and then condition satisfaction. It's really simple. I created a few in prep for this. One is like create a list of community impact at the Cardano Summit. As an impact passionate community member, I would love to know where impact related presentations are happening for the Cardano Summit so that I can join and connect with the impact community near me. Condition satisfaction, a list of all the community events around the world, including Lausanne, list of impact events and presentations happening at each summit location, a way of contacting the hosts or event organizers so I can propose an impact presentation booth or event if there is none yet. Does that sound like a reasonable story?
Yes. I think I can connect you to several of the LATAM town halls. We're having 5 in Latin America as of now.
That's awesome. Yeah, and Cardano Foundation just released the full list of the community locations around the world, and they all link to meetup
Yeah.
things. So we can start to reach out. And I think we need to have a concerted kind of reach out to all these meetup organizers and say, hey, we want to compile a list of what's happening around the world in the impact space. Can you give us your agendas? And if you don't have anything impact related, maybe we can help connect you with people nearby that can help.
And Nori, when you say stands in the local summits, how does that work? Is C4C paying for that? Do we have to find sponsors for us to have the stand?
Oh, so yeah, we talked last week that we were going to try to do some kind of a global C4C thing, but reaching out to people who might participate. Everybody's doing something for the summit, so they're super busy. So the thought is, instead of trying to do a C4C led thing, people are already planning and doing impact related events. So as a C4C community, we thought it would be better to just gather up the information about everything that's already happening and put it in one place so that people can find it and connect. And that would be our role, is kind of to provide the information about what's going on rather than trying to organize our own event.
Okay.
Right. Yep. I think that's a good way to do it. It sort of gets us into the more facilitating role rather than yeah, trying to reinvent the wheel, basically.
Yeah, because there's already so much going on. It'd be nice to say, hey, if you haven't met this person, they live 10 kilometers away and they're in this impact space and they would love to present.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, I labeled everything with sprint 1 and then user story, just to start playing with tags to help filter stuff out. So the other one, I created one, gather data from Fund 8. I should do 7. Oh no. Fund 8 for calculating shares for payout. So on Friday, there was a proposal to do a share-based kind of calculation of how we split the Fund 8 hub proposal. And this one is just a user story for one or more people to go in and look at all the meetings we have and kind of break out who facilitated, who did admin and all that. And then then we can use that data to actually create the real spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one of the stories I put in. The other one, Fund 7 hub and events funds distribution plan. So I know Melanie's working on this, so I just threw a story in there just to give us this 2-week sprint as a kind of goal sprint to get this done. Pay that out. And then the other one is collect wallet addresses from C4C contributors. So we need to map wallet addresses to Discord handles so that the treasury team can actually pay people out. So those are the 4 stories I created this in prep, but I'm sure we can create way more. The purpose of this meeting isn't to create stories. We should be doing that at Story Gathering, but since this is our first sprint, I figured we may do a little bit here because we probably won't have a good backlog. Are there other stories that we want to put in for the sprint that people want to work on this week?
Ooh.
And this is specifically for the sprint work.
Yeah, the impact. So I'm kind of thinking in terms of the artifact or the deliverable, like that. Cole mentioned the onboarding packet, like that would be a really great, like sprint sort of thing. Like I don't know how to get that. Let's get that into the user story. So as a new member, yeah. And we don't, from what I understand, we don't really say how, but the what. So who and what
Mhm.
would be a new member, somebody that's just coming to, that just found a C4C event or the Telegram. So as a new member to C4C, a new member that joins the Discord. I don't know if we break it down into that, but that they have at least initially a packet, which could include, anything necessary, like the calendar of events. I posted the calendar of events on the Discord, and I was like, oh, right, people don't know that. Or the links, but anything, just so we get the ball rolling, is like that there's now a process when someone joins a Discord, joins a Telegram, or is a new person at a meeting, which, just thinking out loud, Discord and Telegram is pretty easy because they see like where they join. But if joining a meeting might be a little bit more difficult because it's not as clear, somebody can kind of not sneak in, but it's not, if there's not a post that says, oh, you're new.
Right. And why would they want all this information?
Oh, okay. Well, that would be why were there, to either confirm like why they came, so it's kind of a mystery as to why they came, but to further,
support.
yeah.
Maybe I was like, just helps orientate themselves within the ecosystem so that they could like reach out to Gimbal Labs if they wanted to, or they could go to all these Catalyst resources and join all the chats and join. Yeah, kind of better, like, yeah, put yourself in a good position within the ecosystem, something like that.
Yeah. And then this becomes a part of the new model that the impact onboarding, the goal of a new model. And that could really be, that could be a good thing.
We could even like have a couple different things we do for people who come to meetings or someone who's just joining the chat, like, hey, thanks for joining C4C, here's the welcome packet, or yeah, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, activities like how to get them involved in, as something I've said before,
like some next steps, kind of.
Yeah, time to meaningful participation as a metric. It's just like how long from when they join a Telegram chat till not just someone says, hey, oh, great that you're here, but they're doing the thing that they joined for. So there's a couple of things, and just allow me to just get this out of my head for a second. They joined the chat for a reason. So we need to sort of tease that out from them or ask them. I mean, you don't have to tease it, just say, hey, why are you here? That might sound a little blunt, but to discern why they're there and then get them doing it. So if they came and they want to work on, issues related to mangrove or, with hurricanes, or they've got a special expertise in, some science or facilitation, or that they want to volunteer, finding out that and then getting them doing it in a clear and facilitated way would be a good sort of goal for this packet, for the survey, for that whole proposal, and that sort of fits in with the ikigai, like really discerning why they're there. And they may not know why they're like, well, I was here and I saw something about climate, or they may be very, very clear, like the DAO lady, she may have like a very clear reason for joining. And it may not be like completely altruistic. It may, not to say this is her, but it may be like, yeah, I came here to market my proposal or do, and yeah. Anyway, I might be rambling.
Yeah, maybe like the best way to figure out what people's different needs were to have like a form for when people come to the community. So like you can, within that form, we could figure out their like ikigai. We could figure out like the reason why they came here. Like we could have like bullets like, oh, I wanted to promote my proposal. Oh, I wanted to connect my project to a different group within Cardano. So like it could be something we just get used to, like for onboarding everyone to C4C. And then we like kind of know what they want to do, what they don't want to do, and why they came. That could be part of the impact onboarding as well.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, I think combining it with Ikigai is very interesting. The onboarding of Ikigai to the community.
Yeah, and that was highlighted in September's impact onboarding monthly report. You know, this sort of idea, and I think it really does dovetail, and it could really help and become a repeatable thing. You know, like in terms of creating a new model or a new framework for these because it's different. It's different in a decentralized system. Anyway, yeah, that's a great user story. Let's.
Okay. Any other conditions of satisfaction? I have a list of activities to join. Schedule calendar of meetings and collab opportunities.
Let me zoom in on that.
How's that?
Okay, there we go. Perfect. List of activities to join. Well, you know, maybe a document. I guess a document that has a list of activities to join. And then in the form, and then I'm leery of trying to be overly prescriptive, but a calendar. Oh, here you got it. Schedule a calendar of meetings, collaboration opportunities. Oh, yeah. I think that when like the organizational units and the people, like you hear all the people in the neighborhood, you know, like when you join C4C, like these are the folks that are here, or yeah.
Could we use that video you made of the overview of C4C, kind of like the introduction to C4C, maybe?
Yeah, I mean that's 2 minutes, and it definitely gets a thing in. Although I don't know if it's sort of achieved a consensus of, because I did take liberty to say like these are the things we do, but that could be. Oh, this is what I wanted to say is the polis. You know, we could have, you know, because when they're brand new, they can see all those statements that we've put in, whether we've written them in the polis or they've put them in a proposal. You know, but in all of our proposals, there are all these like what C4C is. You know, we're a collaborative thing. We do this, and we can show that in the form of a polis, and then that would, you know, that would sort of catch them at the right, you know, moment of like, oh, what is this place? And they can say, oh, this is what I'm interested in, or from what I know. Anyway, I think polis might have something to do with the onboarding.
Oh,
I
shoot.
think that could be helpful.
Totally forgot. I have another meeting.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, you want to jump out, or?
Yeah, if somebody could take over just this, I think we have a good start of some user stories. And then if people want to put their name to one and say, I'm going to work on this, or it can be a couple people per story if it's a big one.
Yeah.
And just kind of get that idea, and then we can continue tomorrow, because tomorrow's story gathering. So we can do that, or you can do that with the time left together here today. Yeah,
I would love to, while we're here and get it's in our brain, let you who facilitated us go. We'll try to do one more story and then see how far we get.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Have a good one, Nori.
Thanks, Nori.
Also, if you want to commit to any of the roles coming up in the meeting, please put your name down, because we should have who's going to be facilitator, admin, secretary for at least tomorrow, and then the rest of the week to get some commitments for people doing stuff.
Oh, yep. Okay, that sounds cool. Yeah, like in
okay.
Okay, we can do that.
And I'll go back, and if there are any holes, I'll put my name in. And
nice.
Do that. All right. Thanks.
Perfect. Thank you, Nori.
Talk to you soon.
Are we filling those out in the D work, the roles?
Yeah. Let's I think here, I'll share my screen and we'll go over to D work.
And I have 5 responses for the C4C like birthday video we talked about a while back. I'm gonna just make it with those responses, and then this Wednesday we can maybe present it and then be like, hey, if anyone else wants to be part of this, send us a video and we'll just add you in.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I could do that.
Let's see, video. So, we do, it's on Wednesday, we've got the Way of Counsel. So we want to only have, like, we want to have a really truncated first part and then move on to the council. Generally like 30 minutes. So if we can do everything in the 30 minutes, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be pretty simple. You could just show a little snippet, a few seconds, and then
Yeah.
show the form again.
That'd be super quick.
And I can put that in the meeting agenda for down here.
Yeah, my feeling that for the Way of Counsel, if we can close as much as possible before,
Yeah.
like to keep it. I mean, the last time, yeah, it felt, because there was a lot of people, it felt like there's not, it was too fast, right? Kind of, no?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I mean, it was amazing, but
onboarding and lead generation. So just like, yeah, just updates, general. Yeah, that's not going to be really engagement. It's going to be updates. This might be too much, trying to do that swarm like we did last time. It might be too much. But I think an hour. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. It also depends how many people will come, right?
Yeah, and that depends on how much we promote it. One of the things
that's a good
that I
point.
saw was, let's see, was it here? Oh, yeah. Hold on, let me stop my share real quick. I have a list from in the user Zoom, in the Zoom call, you can look and see who signed up when, and we had a bunch sign up on just before that last Way of Counsel, and I was thinking that we could write to those people directly, and or just hit up the other channels. Oh, and then this. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the time when I think in user stories, like you come up with an idea and you're like, ooh, this is a user story. One of the things with onboarding, like how people find us, and I think they find us through social media. One of the TP, a new member, found us through general search for climate issues on Meetup. And I think a lot of people have come just randomly through Meetup. I think that one of the user stories might be as a Telegram user, I want to, so it's before they know, as someone that doesn't know about C4C and searches that they find C4C, and that just means, and maybe the success criteria is creating a process or a workflow for social media interaction that includes search terms that people might look for, that they may not be a part of Catalyst or Cardano. And this is that lead generation part, like outside of the ecosystem. So just playing a bigger part in the wider ecosystem, especially on Twitter. I think that there's just a ton of, and it's relatively easy. You can just start tagging, finding the tags that are climate related or events, and just going and representing at these events. I think the Cardano Summit is going to be a big thing. Do we want to write up a user story really quick about that? How best to use this time? I do also want to generate some of the documents, but that's also, it's kind of, it might be easier to do on my own. I do call, I'm just running all over the place now. Go ahead, Cole.
No. I was just saying I'm adding to the impact like onboarding monthly report
Okay,
and just
good.
saying what we plan to do, and then we should be good to submit that.
Okay, good. Okay. Let's make a user story. How do you think that might be a good way to use the time?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. And let's go here. Share the screen. This. Okay. So sprint task template. So I'm just going to go into there. I'm going to click on the 3 dots, not that one. I'm going to click on this 3 dots and duplicate. Okay. I'm gonna look up the another task. This one.
That's a good idea.
Just so I can get like as an impact premier. Okay, here we go. And so as an impact community member who doesn't know about Cardano,
Or how to navigate maybe the ecosystem.
yeah.
So that they have like a roadmap or like a direction, maybe like a.
Well, I'm thinking of like what I'm trying to get to. So in this conditions is a documented process for engagement on social media. And this is really a part of this new model of the impact onboarding model.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that to onboard people, it's important to have social media presence. You know,
And stay like up to date with posts and stuff.
Yeah. To onboard people, it is work. Oh man, my fingers. Okay, that's not in there. It's not here. Conditions of satisfaction process for engagement on social media. I guess that's what it is. Documented process, okay. As an impact community member who doesn't know about Cardano or how to navigate the ecosystem so that I can join.
Yeah.
as a C4C community member. Okay. Documented process mitigation on social media. Coordination. Because so coordination with other onboarding.
Oh, groups like or initiatives.
Yeah, other C4C initiatives coordinated with other C4C initiatives and proposals. And we could just specifically say, the impact onboarding proposal from Fund 8.
Yeah. I think that would make sense.
Let's just do it. Yeah.
There is stuff here that are not updated, like Fund 7 closeout report. We already sent them.
Oh, on the D work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's we can close those out. Let's do that now.
Let me move them to already done. Now we're in sprint 1, 7 closing report. So Cole, you are doing the the fund 8 impact lead generator report, monthly report.
The impact lead generator. I thought you did those.
No, not the impact lead generator. The impact onboarding.
Yeah. Daniel and I can submit that today.
Perfect. I did the other one.
Yeah. We're just adding some more details and like the links to any resources we've created so far.
Excellent.
I'm kind of in the middle of that right now.
Should we add the resources in Spanish for the impact generation?
If you have them created, that'd be huge.
Yeah, I have them. I'll send the links.
Then we can say these are Spanish resources that we're going to be using as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then we have only sprint 1, the different for sprint 1. Okay, cool. Managed submission of June IOG reports. This is already, we can move it.
Yeah, do you want to, is it on here on the combined create and submit September IOG?
Yeah, no, we have only now the create closeout video for Fund 7 proposal is done.
Oh, I can't do that one. This one Nori has to do. This is sort of D-worky stuff. Submit the July. I think these are the ones that I did that I don't want to review. I don't want to just approve, but I guess I can. I showed this to somebody and they're like, hey, that doesn't work out, right? You can't just assign yourself a task and then say that you did it. Do it. So I'll get someone, unless you want to jump on Yoram and approve these or just move them into.
Which one?
I could as well.
Which one I need to approve?
This submit the July IOG report.
Where do you see it? Which?
Yeah, I can. Let me send it over.
Yeah, I mean,
and this might be something that we need to. Oh, actually, so this might be a sprint. Does this fit with our sprint goal? Yeah, right here. So I'm gonna make like a subsidiary goal. Like, check it out. Right. Organize a house cleaning of D work, organize, right?
Yeah.
Clean D work, clean up D work.
Clean the kitchen.
Yeah. Clean up D work. Okay, that'd be great. So that would, okay, let's do a user story. Okay. Task. Duplicate. Clean up D work. as a D reviewer, so that the accounting can do the closing of accounts such that the D-work boards have no, what do they call them? In progress tasks. Conditions of satisfaction. In progress tags are reviewed and moved to done. Does that sound right? Move to done. Are reviewed and moved to done. Are reviewed. Moved to done. This fits in the fund 7 and 8. Yeah, fund 7 and 8 accounting goal for this sprint. Okay, cool. Do I need to put anything over here? Okay, well, I need to tag it sprint 1. Okay. And then I want to tag this one sprint 1. This is fun. Cool. Nice. Okay, and then the other thing in our last 3 minutes here, let's who wants, I can continue to scribe and admin, and then hopefully Nori will facilitate, unless any of you want to do that.
For tomorrow, I can be, what time is for tomorrow meeting? Let me just check something. I'm just checking something in the calendar.
This is for tomorrow's C4C.
Yeah, this is for Tuesday.
I could help with one of those if need be too.
Okay, cool.
What admin needs to do?
So the scribe, I think, does the record. Ooh, that's a good thing. The things that have to be done are, I think the scribe does the recording. Let's do this.
Maybe we make like a key, like facilitator does this, scribe does this, admin
I'm
does
doing
this.
it right now, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So the scribe, so basically takes notes, mines the time, and records sort of tasks and action stuff. The admin, from what I can tell, is sort of technical, sets up Zoom, gathers docs, and does recording, and posts to YouTube. And I don't know if the scribe would do this or the admin. It seems like the scribe would be the one to summarize. Summarize the meeting for YouTube description and social media posts, really, which I've just been doing for Telegram. But it really could be, it really should be, you know, Telegram, YouTube, Discord, the whole thing. Does that kind of make sense?
I think that's good. And then the facilitator, they just kind of helping run the
Yeah,
meeting.
yeah, facilitator runs yeah, really sets, you know, coordinates the scribe and the and then conducts the meeting according to the agenda. Really creates the agenda and manages the time, whereas the scribe records the time.
Okay. I could take the the facilitator if you'd like.
Close. Now, have you done a sprint story gathering?
I've not, but
You can, I think you can just like you can follow, or you can, I'm going to tag you and then just you can follow along. I'll tag both you and Nori so that you can just sort of follow along, because that he probably can. Yeah, that would be good if you'll take that on. That'd be great.
yeah, I can do that.
That'd be awesome.
And that just creating another story within D work for the facilitator.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that's so that might be a yeah, actually that would be cool. I don't know if that's too granular, you know, because we basically every meeting would be a new thing. It might be I don't know how that would work, but we could do it. I mean, it's no big deal.
Okay.
What? Cool. There you go, scribe or admin. Anyone else I can show you? Okay, take it easy, Daniel, if he's still around. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube and we'll finish up the meeting.
Perfect.
I'm normally pretty good with the time. Okay, bye, YouTube.